Hey, this is Evan from Octane Electrons. Today we're going to look at the NexPeak 12 volt, 24 volt battery charger and maintainer. This is a new battery charger unit available on Amazon, and it looked really cool. It has a nice display, has a lot of nice functions. You can use it with 12 and 24 volt lithium battery banks for like RVs or trailers or stuff, so I thought that was interesting. I just wanted a good quality, reasonable charger that will do lithium batteries just fine. What's cool here is it has current select, so you can actually limit the charging current. For most lead acid motorcycle batteries, like I tend to use it for, it probably doesn't matter much, but you can have it cranked up all the way. But for lithium batteries, that can be a nice feature. And so I originally bought it because I have a lithium EarthX lithium battery in my old BMW R90 that it will get used on. I don't have any charger that does lithium specifically. So that's where that'll end up. But at the moment, we're going to test it over here. And we'll show two different tests. I have an AGM battery, lead battery, in my old Triumph here. But I know this battery is already charged. I recently had this bike on the road and then had a problem with the motor and had to tear it down again. But this battery is pretty much fully charged from last week. And then I've got this Yuasa that is a good battery, well, a good quality battery, but ancient. It's in my 2012 Moto Guzzi over there. It was the original battery to the bike. And it has like no miles on it, but it's really old. And I know for a fact it was doing crazy stuff in the bike because it's so in such bad condition and old. But we'll see what this charger can do with it with the repair function. So anyways, if you open up the box, I already took it out, but you have some good packaging. You have some ring terminals. I guess if you want to make a direct battery connection, which I'm going to use the clips. Have power plug, which I've got plugged into an extension cord. Plugs in over here on this side of the unit where the fan is, and they're keyed. You can't really plug the wrong connector in. Then we have the terminals out to the clips for the battery. Okay, then settings on the charger. We've got current select, so you have 3 amp, 5 amp, 6 amp, 10 amp, 10 amp, 20 amp settings. These are lead batteries. I'm going to leave it all the way up and we'll see. So that's a current limiter, I suppose, so you can prevent it from going too high for lithium battery settings. For these two I'm testing it on, that's not going to be a problem. We'll leave it up. Then we have lithium, AGM, lead, LiFe, PO4, repair, and then these don't seem to light up, but there's 12 volt 20 amp is one setting, and 24 volt 10 amp is another setting. Then you have mode select up here, and you'll see the light cycle between them. So here, we'll unplug it and see what a startup looks like. I already had it plugged in. 1 second. Okay, power off. Plug it back in. Tests all the screen display and sets at off. And here's a list of all the different indicators you could get. 12 volt, 24 volt. The main screen while charging cycles between temperature, voltage, amps, winter and summer, which are different charging modes based on temperature. Here's repair mode, shows pull, PUL for pulse, I assume. Test mode looks like TET on the display. This shows while it is determining the health of the battery, I assume, for to set up how to charge. Has reverse polarity warning, which is good. And then here's its charging cycle that shows the voltage and current pulse. Okay, so let's first go over here to the Triumph. Like I said, this one's already charged, but let's just see what it does. Okay, there's my negative clip. Here is my positive clip. And I don't need to repair. This is a good battery. We're going to set it to AGM. Okay, 13.7 volts. It's the battery voltage. 12 volt battery. And let's see what it does. Yeah, once it's locked in on a charge setting, you can't change the mode. Let me disconnect. There we go. Temperature, charge current, there we go. Now it's going into test mode. And then, like I said, this battery is already fully charged, so it will, when I check this before, it'll go to full and not too long after it finishes its test cycle, because this battery doesn't need any more. So I like the cables, good quality battery cables with like a silicone rubber insulation. That's great. Keyed connector, so you can't plug that in wrong. Good quality clips with good rubber insulation. I like all that. Oops. Here. We'll change to repair setting. There you go. So you get the repair light, the pulse setting. Good. Okay. Let's disconnect here. Let's go test over at our old battery. First, let's test reverse polarity connection and see what it does. Okay, so I've got negative to positive. Error. Good. Polarity, reverse polarity protection worked, protected it. Now let's go the correct way. I'm going to leave it on the repair setting. There we go, right to repair mode, 12-volt battery, and pulse setting. Great, so that works well. Let's remove this. We'll set to lead acid mode. See what charging does. 13.4, 1.3 amps, 29C. Yeah, and this battery did take a charge, but I know it's not good long term. It's got a bad cell or something that goes out. Okay, and then into test mode, which it should do. And as the manual tells you, auto enters battery test to check whether battery is fully charged after stage 4 absorption charging is finished. So that means the battery voltage must be high enough that it's going into test mode. And I have been using this battery to power some test equipment and stuff, so it's had a charge at some point in the last month. It's probably not dead, but it's definitely not a good battery. So yeah, it works well. I like it. I like the current limiting feature. And yeah, I think this will be a good charger. It's going to see good rotation in my garage on these old bikes. This old battery I'll keep around for test equipment, and then we'll get it on the lithium battery on the BMW later as well, and it'll probably see some time on the other bikes. So yeah, I'm impressed. The main thing you notice right away is how heavy this is, and I know that's not necessarily a major indication of anything, but I've had a lot of cheap battery chargers and they're really light, so you can tell this one either has good heat sinking or I don't know, has a large fan in it, which a lot of them don't. But you can tell the difference in how heavy this is. I suspect it's big heat sinking on transistors in there, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so anyways, I'm impressed. I think it's a good quality charger. It has good functions for the money. Seems to work well. So yeah, I would recommend this. So again, this is the NexPeak 12 and 24 volt charger. Looks like NC301. And yeah, I'll put the link to it on Amazon in the video description. And yeah, hope that helps if you need a good charger for your cars or bikes. See ya.